Hey everybody, BR Tidwell 55 here. Hey, I realized my last couple of videos probably weren't very helpful, and I want to try to correct that and get a video discussion going on how to build, or what you need to build if you want to build a good, solid system for running Linux. And what I want to do is I don't want this to devolve into a distro versus distro fight, because I mean there's Ubuntu fans out there, there's Linux Mint fans out there, there's Fedora and PC Linux OS and I don't want it to go there, because I figure if you build something that will work pretty well in Ubuntu, because normally your Ubuntu distros don't typically have like the bleeding edge kernels like a lot of other distros do, then it should pretty much work with any other distro as hardware wise. So what I've got up here are just some of either I know personally that it works well, or I've done enough research to figure out on different boards and everything that this is what seems to work. So starting with the box itself. Of course, when you build a computer, you got to start with a motherboard, and there's wide enough kernel support out there that pretty much any motherboard you buy, you're not going to have motherboard chipset you buy, you're not going to have a problem with. I personally use an Asus board, but boards from Intel or MSI or name your motherboard manufacturer probably going to work pretty well. As far as video, I started off with an onboard Intel video chipset, which I had no issues with, other than it tended to be kind of slow when I was doing screen captures and trying to do compositing effects. There is great support out there for NVIDIA cards. Now granted, yes, that is a proprietary driver, but it does seem to work. As far as processors, pretty much any x86 or 8664 processor you get from Intel or AMD is going to work. That Linux was originally built to run on a 386, and that legacy is still there. So pretty much, like I said, any 86 byte or 8664 processor will work. I run a Pentium dual core E2200. Core 2 duos, Core 2 quads. Don't know that much about the AMD side of the house, but pretty much whatever processor you choose, you're not going to go wrong. Now, wireless, this is something that has gotten much better over the years. Pretty much any wireless card you get with an Atheros chipset, and you got to pay attention to that, it is going to work out of the box, no issues. Support is getting better with Broadcom wireless chipsets, but sometimes, depending on your card, you may have to go back and use the Indus wrapper, go the Indus wrapper route, or but there is support for Broadcom wireless drivers out there, depending on the chipset. But anyway, if you go with an Atheros card, you're not going to have a problem. Alright, so that's kind of the stuff that might trip people up inside the box from what I found. Outside the box, printers, you're not going to have a problem with if you go with HP. HP releases Linux drivers for pretty much all of their printers and multifunction drivers, and there's just always been awesome support for HP products from the community, from what I've seen. Web cameras, subject of my last two videos. and this is where I would like to see video responses, or especially recommendations on webcams, because from what I can see, it's really hit or miss. So, and also other ideas. I mean, what would you put in your ultimate Linux box? How would you build it? How would you put it together? I'd kind of like to make this sort of an open forum, and I'd love to hear some other people's responses and opinions on this. So anyway, that's what I'm doing to get it kicked off, and as always, comment, rate, post a video response, especially post a video response. After all, YouTube is a video forum, and I think that's where we all have the most fun. Thanks. Have a good night.